Welcome back. Another episode of Back to Lunch. First episode premiered last week. I had guests on, Miss Deanna Ball DB from Washington D.C. Yeah, I want to thank her for her participation and her knowledge and wisdom and her point of view on the various topics that we discussed. Today I'm off the solo bolo, off the Marco Polo. But it's all good. You know how we do it. You know how we roll, Joe. So, a little bit about myself. You know, from the streets. Been this place, that place, that place. A little while ago, you know, made a decision that wasn't for me no more. I ain't about that life. See what I'm saying? And it was one of the best decisions, if not the best decision in my life as an adult. Back to Lunch is an open format. Anybody that would like to come on and voice a point of view is more than welcome. It'll be a telephone dialogue. You can text me at 202-394-3750. It'll be a set up a date and a time, and it's about 20-minute segment, 15 to 20 minutes, depends on, you know, how the energy flowing. All about that energy. Yeah, so if you decide that you want to, you know, have something that you think, you know, the YouTube, Facebook world should know, you're more than welcome to participate on the Back to Lunch program. Hey, so I'm going to go into this today. I got a variety of things to talk about, different topics. But first of all, I want you to know that I'm a man of mistakes and error. I've been fashioning my life by trial and error. And in certain aspects, I got stuck on the merry-go-round. You know, I was going round and round. I got off the merry-go-round, started to walk a couple steps, and then got on another merry-go-round. There's plenty of merry-go-rounds in life, dealing with all types of levels of operations, from our thoughts, from our behaviors, from our attitude, from the way that we speak, how we deal with individuals, our family members, opposite sex, so on and so on. And I made that statement because some of the issues that I'll be speaking on today are spiritual topics, and what I say about these topics, they are points of view from my perspective, not really open for debate yet. You can come on and express your point of view, and it's all good, because it's all good. Okay, so the first thing that I'm gonna speak on is that this place that we call Earth by an agreement is actually a place of testing. The universe is a university of learning, but the earth itself is actually like a science lab. And the only thing you got to do is really think about it, because, you know, from the primitive times to now, what has been going on is men and women have been using their imagination, and their imagination been bring about revelations, particular things that we use to make life a little easier today. The computer, cell phone, cars, airplanes, all of these things came from the imagination of men and women. All of these things they always existed, even in the primitive time. Yet the primitive man did not have the ability in certain cases of this particular yuga we're in. This is a 26,000 year cycle that we're in. So within the beginning of this yuga, man had to, you know, crawl and walk and, you know, stand upright and do all these types of things in his mind to get to where we at today. So in the field of energy, the airplane always existed 200, 300, 400, 500 years ago, if you can wrap your mind around that. The cell phone existed thousands of years ago in the energy field. The refrigerator, the computer, all this stuff always exists. And what it is on a time release. And the time release is according to the development of humanity. So man can get to a certain stage, man, woman, the spiritual being that's on this physical plane, having this human experience. Mind connect to what is known in the East is the Akasha, and this is a field of energy. So once the man's or woman's mind connect, they start to experiment, putting things together, and then out the manifestation of the light bulb, the manifestation of plant-based foods. As far as what we experiencing today, these were ideas. They were energy first, and then they went through the process of the mind, and then developed in the physical realm. So they always existed at a faster vibration, but the vibration was actually captured, slowed down, and brought to the manifestation of our life experience today. And you have to look at these things in a universal perspective, because many things, if not all things, manifest to this realm in that type of fashion. One time, when me and one of my buddies was talking, he was like, man, I understand about the frequencies and the energies, but how did things become different? Well, things became different because we got vibration, but we also got different tones to go with those vibrations. One vibration, the vibration may be a certain frequency, but then when you put say like a musical note, you might put A, and say an apple appear, B, a banana appear. This is in simplicity term, but certain tones change the vibration and fashion it in another manifestation here on the physical plane. So it's just about vibrations and tones. That's the same thing with like color, the prisms of colors. We got red, orange, yellow, green, dark blue or navy blue, sky blue, then the purple, so forth and so on. Okay. Now I want to speak on the kingdom is within. How is that so? Well, particular teachings throughout the ages, has spoke of this. A lot of people, they say, well, like a lot of people that I have encountered, they have a different perspective and their points of view than I do. And when they become aggressive towards me, and they say, you know what? So you think you're gonna be up in heaven with wings and a harp, playing a harp all the time? I said, bruh, sis, that's the indoctrination of the imagination of the European nation that has been downloaded on the minds of many. And I am insulted that you have categorized my thought process thinking as such because of you feeling some type of way right now. I don't think anything of the sort. I don't actually think that heaven is up in the sky and hell is in the earth. But I'm not saying that there isn't a different level of operation on different frequencies. So the higher frequency may be considered to be a heavenly frequency, while the lower frequency may be considered to be a hellish frequency. And if we look at life and start to examine these things, when people be operating on these lower frequencies, dealing with different types of attitudes, different types of mindsets, they become in a hell right here on earth. I'm not saying that there's nothing after this experience that could be identified as a hellish experience, but I know one thing, right here on earth is hell. When you see a man or a woman that are alcoholics, that haven't been home, been sleeping in the streets, that's a form of hell. A crack addict, a heroin addict, that's a form of hell. A person that mind is always racing and then chaos and then worrying, that's a form of hell, because the frequency of the thought process is very, very low. So if you're just thinking anxious all the time, or depressed all the time, that's a form of a psychological hell or hellish experience. And on the other pole, someone may be in elevated thoughts. They would say, they have conditioned themselves that they're not going to let other people bring them to a state that they do not care to be in because of these people's behaviors, attitudes, and disposition. So what they do is they do their best to keep a elevated frame of mind, elevated thought process. I had an experience after some time studying, and when I was younger, I had a real issue with people bumping into me, stepping on my feet, and not saying excuse me. And I was very, very aggressive towards people that did that because I feel disrespected. Not too long ago, I was downtown and European. When I say the word European, I'm talking about so-called white people. I don't believe that there's white people or black people, because the studies have brought me to this conclusion. With a nationality of people, I'm going to this real quickly, there is a language, there is a land associated with it, and there is nowhere in this world a place called white land or the white language. They got English, they have French, Spanish, German. These are European dialects. And then again, there's nowhere in the world there's a language they call the black language. See what I'm saying? So, or Negro land or something of that nature. Yes, some people say, well, they had Kemet, the black land. Yeah, that is so, but that's this one area that was identified as that. But the diaspora of the people of color, there's no place actually known that we can identify saying that that's the black land and that's the black language. The terminology of white identified with a group of people is a racist, narcissistic terminology of supremacy. And when you identify people as being white, you are feeding the ego or that narcissistic ideology that they are pure, they are clean, they are this and this and this and that. I actually have never seen a white person. I know white when I see it. When I see this piece of paper right here, that is white. I never seen a person look like this. And on the other hand, I know there's some really melanated people in this world that people say, well, they look black to me. Well, yeah, they could be, but the actual color of black is really, 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 really black. This shirt I got on is black. See what I'm saying? This is a form of black right here. But to say that they are black people and white people, I ain't down with that. But, for conversation's sake, sometimes, I use those terminologies. But if we get meticulous about it, now I don't rock like that. So, back to the story. This European bumped into me and didn't say excuse me. I was about to blow, but then I thought the teachings, forgive him, Father, for he know not what he do. And you know what? I feel so good after that. It was released, and I was surprised at myself because I know the way that I usually get down when that type of situation happens. So we must make mental adjustments to have different experiences. I could have blown up, went on a dude, got thuggish, gangster on him or whatever. But what would that have done for my spiritual development? And that's the type of time that I was on at that time. I was reading, I was studying, I was exercising, mental elevation to become a better person in a sense. Because one thing that I realized, I can be truthful with myself, that when I look back, I don't like the person that I used to be or how I used to act. I was very disrespectful. I was very insensitive. I was very selfish. And not saying that traces of these behavior types and mindsets still not a part of my being. But I do my best when I am conscious or aware not to operate like that. And when I catch myself operating like that, I'm not very pleased with myself. In the sense, if I have getting into an altercation with someone, a disagreement, and I explode and I start to express myself in a heightened way with my voice raised up, as though I feel like I've gotten aggressive with them. I don't like doing that because I feel like that I have, gone on the outside of what I have learned. But it was necessary for me to do that so I can know that, I still need to work on it. Our lives are actually a work in process. And that's what we got to remember. A work in process. I had a few more things to talk about, but I had ran my mouth on this European black thing a little bit over. So I still have a few more minutes, but I may not get to other situations in the cards. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna jump right onto this one. The journey of life is awakening to the inward path to attain access to the universal consciousness in the degrees that are appointed to us that we are able to receive. So some people say, oh, so you think you're going to access the mind of the Creator? Yes. In degrees, the gift that God has given me, the Creator, the Most High, has given me, has given all of us a particular access in degree to levels of comprehension within the source of the all of the Most High. Because, as the teachers say, we are the children of the Most High. See, some people say, man, well, God is not my father. God ain't nobody's father, because there is no, what they call it, companionship with God. But let me tell you this. The teachings say that we have, in this world, the sons of the light and the children of darkness. And that is if you operating on the higher self or the lower self. Are you working in harmony with the Most High, or you're an adversary of the Most High? So, saying this, if you're not a son of God, of the Most High, then you are the son of the devil, the adversary, the enemy. See, and son, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying like I'm a son of the Most High like a little boy. That don't make no sense. I'm one of the lights of the Most High. You're one of the lights of the Most High. And then we have other people that are lights of the darkness or the dark side, because it's choice. I have been on the dark side, and I still be oscillating in certain activities and behavior to go to the dark side. But I know that there is no winning with the dark side. To be a son of the dark side or one of the children of darkness, yeah, you're going to get dealt with. Because it's the reflection, the cause and effect. To be a son of the light or one of the children of the Most High, from my studies, this is the best position that one could try to associate themselves with or get in harmonic sync. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for tuning in to this second session from Back from Lunch. One day I'll explain what Back from Lunch actually means, but I want to thank you again. Once again, this was the information that I relayed is just the point of view. Mental elevation is a way of life, and if you want to speak your piece, once again, text me at 202-394-3750. MJ, Billy Jack, Mark, whatever make you feel good. See what I'm saying? Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you. And all praises to the Most High. And have a blessed and peaceful evening on purpose, with a purpose, because it's all purpose. And remember this. If you don't want to be a part of the circus, don't be a clown.